Do you know what you need? Better mods for Fallout 4. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some great mods you could download for Fallout 4 right now, all at the low cost of, well, hard drive space. What's up everybody and welcome back to another episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. If you guys never seen this series before, basically I show you the best mods to come out over the past week. In addition, we actually have a few new Xbox releases that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. If you do enjoy the content or enjoy this series, you can leave a like or a comment on this video. That helps with YouTube's internal rating system. It'll promote this video to more people, and honestly it just helps me out. So if you want to do that, that would be awesome. It was a pretty good week for mods. We definitely had a lot of work in progress come out, a lot of things people were waiting on, which I know you guys will be excited for, and just some interesting content. Not as traditional as other weeks, but definitely a good one where you're going to have some stuff to download whether you're on PC or Xbox One. Starting things off, we have one I was showing you in a work in progress format, and that is going to be the military Gorka Suit. The Gorka Suit is going to be something that did appear in a few other games. I believe some of the operators in Rainbow Six Siege are actually using it, but either way, in Fallout 4, what it's going to be is a replication of the real-world Russian operator suit, something that basically is worn under your typical plate carrier or whatever armor you are wearing. In Fallout 4, this looks really cool. We don't have a ton of modern military uniforms, so getting this one, if you're going for that Russian style or playthrough, is going to be really cool. In addition, as you're kind of seeing in the background, there are a ton of color customization options. Many of these do have similar themes. They're going to either be kind of a desert style or maybe more of a woodland or grassland. If you're not using a winter overhaul, which ironically I am, but if you're using pretty much any other overhaul for Fallout 4, this is going to be a great fit for your game. You're going to have an option or a color customization option that allows you to blend into the environment. In addition, there's a few other add-ons to the suit. You could actually get a ballistic weave up to a level 4, so you could use this as a late game option and actually feel protected. Plus, I personally think the suit looks pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a helmet or face mask or anything like that, but there's some other mods adding in gas masks and face masks that will mesh well with this one. All around, it's a really well polished suit. I talk about all the time how we have a ton of modern military equipment for Fallout 4, typically in the form of weapons, but on the armor or clothing category side, we don't have much. This is definitely going to flesh that out. The mod author has said going forward he wants to add in even more color customization options. I would love to see that. I think that would really add to it, especially if we got a little bit of more winter options and things like that. But even as of right now, it's going to be one of the better options you do have as far as military attire goes in Fallout 4. Then we do have a mod. This one's more or less going to give you the ability to. It honestly is quite realistic. Whoever developed this definitely had a lot of experience doing. For obvious reasons, it won't be for everyone. If you have kids in the room, you probably shouldn't put this one on. But at the same time, if you're really into, then this may just be one of the best mods for you right now for Fallout 4. Again, it's not going to be for everyone. It definitely is going to be for me. Personally, just this past weekend, Although one odd thing this does, as you converse with NPCs after downloading this, it's actually going to change the language of all the other options. I don't know, it's just kind of weird that that's added in, but either way, maybe you like that. I don't know. Do you know what Fallout 4 isn't difficult? I mean, I think I agree with that statement, but either way, if you're not playing on survival mode with increased damage, you'll probably have a fairly easy time after getting like 1 or 2 good weapons. And if one of them has the explosive legendary effect, it's going to be easy mode throughout the game. Well, maybe you want to make Fallout 4 a little bit more difficult, so what game is difficult? Dark Souls. The Souls series is renowned for being one of the most difficult games out there, and as you could probably guess, Fallout Souls is going to bring one aspect of those games into Fallout 4. What's that going to be? Well, now as you pause the game, use the Pip-Boy, open the console, whatever it may be, the game will no longer pause in the background. So if you try and change a menu setting, the game's going to be going on. Like, people will continue to shoot at you. The way this will actually impact you realistically is when you're using your Pip-Boy. If you use your Pip-Boy like me to pop stim packs, I typically don't hotkey them because I think it's just really easy to go into the Pip-Boy. Or maybe you're changing your weapon or armor, things will continue in the background. If you're fighting enemies and about to die and you don't have stim packs hotkeyed, well, you're kind of screwed. But at the same time, it's really an interesting gameplay mechanic. It's a fairly small change, but it can have pretty outlasting effects in your game and just your whole playthrough. Especially at the early levels. If you're playing on survival, which if you're not, you should be, it's going to have a pretty big effect. When you try and do anything, you kind of have to keep in the back of your head, alright, am I in a safe location? Is there no one around me that can easily kill me? You have to really focus on getting into cover and kind of clearing out areas. Again, that's really only going to be in combat areas. When you're in your settlement, you'll just hear people walking in the background, but it's a pretty interesting mechanic. It also is all toggleable. There's going to be a mod configuration menu add-on for this, so you can turn off whatever you want. Like if you don't think console should be on pause, like I don't, you could turn that off. Either way, really cool mod. Definitely a little bit of a different one, but I think a lot of people will enjoy this. Last but not least, we have the return of the Sierra 117. Not really, I mean it was taken down on PC for a little while, but most notably it was off of Bethesda.net for a few months now. A lot of you guys were asking about whatever happened to this, and just this past week it was re-uploaded with all of its new updates. If you haven't been following this, basically what it adds in is one of the Halo armors, a very iconic armor if you played video games at all. In addition, some of the later updates actually brought more color customization to this. I covered these in the past. This has been out on PC for a while, but I think it was only on Xbox One for a short while. Download it now, this might get taken down again. It technically is totally legal to use, but I think Bethesda didn't think it was, so they were like taking it down thinking people were infringing on Microsoft's copyright, even though they're not. Either way, it's out for now, so definitely take advantage of it while you can. Plus, as long as that Messiah armor is still coming, this is going to be a great mod to use in tandem with that. If you don't know, that was basically adding in a ton of the Halo weaponry into Fallout 4. So to end off this video, we have another psych fun fact. This one's going to be more of a story than like a standalone fact, but something really interesting nonetheless. I've talked about memory a few times now. I took human memory last semester and I really enjoyed it, so naturally I know a bunch of memory facts. I've kind of touched on this before, but either way, there are two forms of amnesia associated with memory. You can either have retrograde or anterograde. Retrograde amnesia is like movie amnesia. You can't remember your past, you hit your head and suddenly you forget your life, your name, etc. That's scary and very realistic, but even a little bit scarier is anterograde amnesia and really the impacts of it. So more or less what that is you can't create new memories. So more or less your long-term memory totally loses function, and people think long-term memory, oh, that means like days, hours. No, long-term memory is technically anything longer than like 30 seconds. Your short-term memory only lasts for about 30 seconds. So I learned about this one guy who had some head injury or something like that, and more or less he lost the ability to remember or create new memories. So he perpetually was basically living the same event over and over again. He actually had this little notebook where he'd write down, am I awake now? And just if you go through the pages of the notebook, it would just be, am I awake now? Repeated, written over and over and over again. Because to him, he didn't remember writing it again. He could do things for literally hours on end, like play a video game or something like that, because he never remembered playing it before. After 30 seconds of doing that, he forgot he had ever played it. I feel like me saying it isn't really conveying it enough, but just imagine that. Imagine you only had 30 seconds to remember whatever you did. Then after that, someone just basically clicked the reset button and you had to start all over. Just kind of finding yourself wherever you are in a very confused state. Yeah, it's kind of a sad one, but either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this, you could actually check out last week's episode. I covered a bunch of other mods and the production quality was a little bit higher because, you know, why not? But with that, I thank you for watching again, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.